Okay, hang on.
In the bottom, I heard that.
I have to pause the recording.
It is Monday, August 5th at 5 p.m. And we'll now call to order the Public Safety Committee meeting for the Village of Somerset. Present in the hall, myself, Christina Duback,
Chris Marino.
and it looks like Ryan is absent. So why don't we go ahead and move on to the July 1st minutes and take a look at those.
I didn't have any questions. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
So I reviewed these as well. Everything looks great?
Yep.
Okay, I'll second that one. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now we'll move on to public comment on agenda items. We have 2 minutes limit per person, 14 minutes per topic.
I don't see anyone online
No.
making comments.
Okay,
Okay.
well, we're always available by email. So we'll go ahead and close public comment and move on to unfinished business.
New business.
Right, there is no unfinished business. That should be taken from the agenda, don't you think? Okay, sorry, new business, discussion, concert update, noise complaints, sound levels and sound checks. So we did receive some complaints and concerns from the neighbors and from residents thinking that I think not being prepared for those kind of unscheduled sound checks kind of took people by surprise. So the amphitheater has already sent a representative, and we did discuss this at the joint meeting. The amphitheater is allowed up to 25 events, and it is kind of tiered depending on how many spectators are at each event. So it's definitely under the allowed amount of concerts that they can have, concerts and or events. They have sent some information along to the board regarding decibel levels, and I think, well, we already kind of discussed this, that EJ from the amphitheater is working with us, and you know, certainly we want them to be good neighbors, but we also want to allow them to do their business as usual. So we're let's see. Well, I don't think we really need to take any action.
I think what we're gonna do, hopefully moving forward, on forward now is. He's gonna try to get on to like our Somerset pages and say, hey, we're gonna have sound checks. On Thursday from blah, blah, you know, from,
Yeah,
but I think the biggest thing is they said the one time was like till 11. Or was it 10 or 11?
Not 11, it was close.
So I mean, I think we could probably. Nip that a little bit, probably and say, hey. You know, what would be a fair time, because that doesn't need to be 11 o'clock at night, right?
Right. Right, and typical sound checks are gonna be shorter. I think this was kind of a one, not, it doesn't happen quite as often, you know, that it was a little more extensive. Yeah, we'll certainly just keep communicating with them and keep that line of communication open, I think is important. And also do a little better job relating that to the public.
Yes.
Yeah, get the word out that things are going, you know, and let's keep in mind that we only have 5 real concerts this year, and it's certainly a great thing to have in town. So I'm asking for patience for, you know, for some of these inconveniences. You know, we realize it does inconvenience people and make things a little difficult, but it's also part of living in such a unique community.
Did you have something that you want?
No, it's 11 o'clock during the week, right? PM for the noise, and that is at midnight on Fridays
And Saturdays.
and Saturday.
I
Yeah,
believe
no,
you're
that's what I believe it was. Yeah, no, I'm just here to listen. And like I said, my only concern was, and maybe I should have said it under other comment, but the noise did carry it all the way to Cedar Lake. So I mean, and I realize, you know, it depends where you're at, but that's
Sure.
getting kind of serious in my book.
Sure.
Right.
Yes,
So.
How many midweek concerts can they have?
It depends on the amount of how many people, the attendance on those events. Do you mean during the, like?
Yeah, I thought the
year?
original CUP or something said so many on weekdays and so many on weekends.
I don't recall that,
No,
to
it
be
doesn't
honest.
break that
That might
down.
have been one of the originals.
Yeah.
Right. Right, it just has set hours, you know, 11, Monday through Thursday, I should say, and then Friday and Saturday, they have to end at midnight. Sundays, there's some exceptions, if Monday is a holiday, then I believe we allow them until midnight.
And then I just want to clarify one thing going forward, and I think we talked about it at that last, I'll call it joint meeting with the village police. Knutson was there for the county and the town and village, but that you'll continue, and I hope you'll continue to work with the town on the traffic issue and obviously the noise.
Absolutely.
I know at the last joint meeting, there was some stuff said that we as the town didn't want the sheriff's protection on the streets.
Oh, that's definitely not true.
That was not perceived right.
Sure.
I think the miscommunication was we didn't want the tickets to have the alternative routes through the town on it.
Sure.
And then, I'm not speaking for EJ, but on EJ's side, they didn't want to pay for the sheriff's presence unless they could have it on the ticket for directions. So I'm just a little concerned they're going forward with these bigger concerts. We're gonna have a lot of people on, you know,
Yes.
38th Street and all that, and I want to make sure that gets addressed.
I guess it did sound like there was an awful lot of people coming in from the north.
Right.
That they seen, and
And it's just,
and
yeah,
that wasn't,
yeah.
that wasn't because they put it on there, it's just,
Yep.
I imagine most of the people
Right.
that are from here.
Yep, and I know how cell phones work, obviously,
Sure.
there's congested
Yeah.
traffic, it gives you
So
the
you don't
shortest
kill
way
them.
around it, and I get all that, but. I feel knowing going forward, we know that that's a route that a lot of people use. And I think we gotta work together and have a little bit of police protection or some, or I don't know quite yet what to do there, cause. Obviously, we don't quite know, each concert, the
Right.
numbers, but as these keep
Sure.
going, we see the.
I think they're going up as we get.
Right, so we'll have to, and I hope we can work together on that, because it's not fair to our taxpayers. Technically, it's a village, event that's
Sure.
going downtown roads.
Right.
So, anyway, that's all I got. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So it was 38th that is getting a increased traffic
Yeah,
just because GPS is.
40, excuse me, 45th Street, and yeah,
Like, oh.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's going around by the below gravel pit.
Sure.
Goes that way, so. And I understand why people do it. If I was coming here, I'd probably do the same thing, but I just, as a representative, I wanna make sure we're looking at. Best interest for our taxpayers also, so.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely. Right, and we want to be good neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, it's been great, I mean,
Right.
it's improved immensely working, communication between us, so,
Nice.
thank
Great.
you.
We'll definitely try to be.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, thanks.
Great.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, since I've been on, I feel like obviously that there hasn't been that communication, I feel. But I feel
Not
like,
till recently.
yeah, I feel like we're doing better now, right?
Yeah,
So I mean.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah, we appreciate it,
yeah, for sure.
thank you.
And like maybe, I don't know, maybe it's one of those deals where we can get together and maybe even talk about it, maybe the week before a concert or something, and maybe
Right.
just kind of say, hey, it's what the projected numbers of people and.
Yep, cause I think EJ sent out a couple of emails with the,
Yeah.
ticket sales. And the smaller ones were fine, like I said, but it was kind of like a pre-run or pre-trial, or whatever you wanna call it. But as, the years go on or the concerts
Sure.
go on, it'd be nice to stay in check with things, so.
Sure.
As it's ramping up.
Right,
Mhm.
so,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Okay, so why don't we move on to discussion possible recommendation Depot Street parking?
Yeah, so, I mean, this originates maybe 3 or 4 years ago. With the introduction of Oliphant over there and some other business-driven traffic. That was a designated truck route for a while, coming up Klutcher, down Depot. Anyways, I don't know if it was Public Works or which committee this came out of, but the solution was the west side of the road would be painted yellow to restrict traffic on that side from parking or stopping and standing. Which made sense, and it does make sense still, even though it's not used as a truck route anymore, but So they painted the ground yellow, there was no signs put up, and it's not in our ordinance. So, there's some folks who live over there who would, you know, rightfully complain when people would be parking in the yellow section. However, there wasn't really an ordinance to back it up. We'd go over, ask for voluntary compliance, say, hey, you can't park on the side of the road. And folks would 100% of the time say, oh yeah, we didn't know. It gets really bad in the winter time. When the curbs are snow covered.
Sure.
So anyways, what we're simply asking to do is get this adopted into our ordinance.
Yeah,
Under
maybe
that.
get some signage.
And yeah, put some signs up and make it just so it's enforceable and, hopefully that would add some compliance and,
Make it more obvious.
right. I mean, I think if we tally it back, I think we probably have 15 calls a year over there for parking issues. And it would be nice to just be able to nip it in the bud here and finally make a decision. Either we're gonna add this to our ordinance or we're gonna open it up. And my recommendation would be to still continue to restrict parking on the west side of Depot. Which is essentially,
Yeah, it gets pretty busy out there on a Friday night when I come driving that way.
yeah,
They're all lined up all the way to the road of the corner, seems like.
and they talked about, Olafan at one point talked about getting different parking areas or buying a lot across the street. That never really came to fruition, but they seem to work with what they have right now just fine. It's just a matter of proper signage, especially in that first lower section of the 100 block. Where people would like to park to go to Olafan.
Right.
So can you pull up the ordinance number for parking?
I think it's 1023-1, but
Just got a sticker.
See you guys, have a great night. Thanks for coming in.
I guess we can just see where specifically it should fall under.
it'd be 10-122, probably go over there. There's probably a couple different spots that it would.
I don't think anybody would have a problem with changing the verbiage of our,
No, I mean, this is very similar to what we just did on Meadow Lane.
that and maybe adding some, obviously signs like you say that makes it.
Yeah, and I talked to Bob about that already. He said that. That's an easy
I would guess,
thing for them to
yeah,
help accommodate.
sure. Rolling.
Rain. So I think it would just be under one of these. So it's a certain street designated as a through highway, public safety, blah, blah, blah. I guess it's not very good.
Yeah, I'd probably have to go 10-122. Somewhere in the word. There's one other one that has streets listed. Just gonna read it. Be 10-128 B.
So. A person shall stop, park, or allow any vehicle to stand at any time on the other side of the highway of Churchill.
List of streets.
Yep. So what are we at? 10,
120.
so the.
Make it more than 10.
So then it could read something similar to, no person shall stop, park, or allow any vehicle to stand at any time on the west side of Depot Street, beginning at the intersection of Main Street and going south.
Well, you're gonna do the whole street,
Be south,
or are you gonna only do some?
actually,
here.
to be,
This is just the whole street,
yeah, basically.
and we'll just say on the
And
west side.
The
Depot
west
Street.
side, yeah,
Cause yeah, you're right.
'Cause
Comes
it
down to
changes-
Butcher,
yeah.
yeah,
you know,
so it could say something similar to what number 8 says, which is no person shall stop. Park or allow any vehicle to stand at any time on the west side of Depot Street.
I will make a motion to amend the ordinance to read
As stated,
the statement.
I'll second it.
And then we probably have to put it under 10-1-20 sub B, sub 10.
Okay. And then then we'll recommend that for the next board meeting, or the village board meeting.
Okay, so, sorry, all in favor, say aye.
Aye,
Aye. Lovely, thank you for helping us with that. That's, okay, why don't we go ahead and go to the police department budget report. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped the municipal court budget report. Let's do that first, please.
okay. Yep. So,
Have any questions, Steve?
nope. Are you not?
Moving on to the police budget report. Here, there's. Some thoughts?
I'm here.
Like to go over the incident report. Those work.
Yeah, what do we got first? Incident report?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's attached. This month I did add, which I'll continue to add in the future. Just kind of what Ryan was talking about today, kind of a reference. And, you know, it was kind of interesting, just kind of looking at this and putting it together. Just to see that summers aren't necessarily our busiest time, which a lot of people say, oh yeah, summers are probably wild, the winters are quiet for you guys, and that's not necessarily a true reflection of
Right.
what we going on. Like last September was our busiest month within the last 12 months.
Sure.
So Doug Briggs used to say, we see a slight increase in calls for service in the summer, but you know, that was 15 years ago now.
Sure.
And I think it's steady all year.
It's getting to be.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool.
So then, I guess department activities, so we have those 2 concerts under our belts. Overall, I think they went well. We had 2 OWI arrests at the last one. And beyond that, there was some, you know, couple little disturbances here and there that were quickly resolved. But the 1 day in and outs have been really successful in terms of, you know, less calls for service than we would get during like a camping event.
Right.
So that's been good. Traffic's been flowing. We haven't had any major backups yet. I think the proof of concept is there for what we've been doing, with this traffic plan, which doesn't include using any township roads. And, we'll see how it goes with a 10,000+ person concert,
Sure.
which is coming up. And, they have that new parking company that's been doing a solid job. So,
I feel like they were getting off the road pretty quick, right?
Yes,
felt
Yeah.
like-
it wasn't backed up.
Yeah.
We hadn't really had a big backup hit this year, which is the goal, to keep
Sure.
traffic flowing, get people to where they need to go. I guess to talk to their point a little bit, yeah, there's officers who are positioned out in the township at times, especially for ingress. Making sure traffic doesn't overflow back into the freeway and things of that nature. But we haven't necessarily identified these rural township roads as, pinch points at all.
Sure.
We've been to other meetings with the sheriff's department. Where the sheriff asks, so are you guys asking for a cop or you're not? You know, it was kind of unclear at that time. You know, I think it'd probably be important for them to reach out to the sheriff's department if they do need.
Sure.
Coverage and maybe not kick this back to the village, but. I can certainly discuss what they shared with us today. With the sheriff's department to see
Mhm.
what their thoughts are, if there's a solution.
Yeah, what did they say, 35 or what were the main roads that did they say?
38 and 45.
Okay.
So, I mean, last year, during the construction when Main Street Bridge was down, we did have officers
Sure,
out that way, but, got it not being directed to that anymore. So. But anyways, beyond concerts, we had a firearms training. I went to a tactical, response instructor school. We were told that the SRO position is back to full time for this year. So we're gonna be interviewing, we have 2 interested candidates who'll be interviewing for that this month. And it's kind of it for the update.
good,
Oh, yeah, our new squad is almost complete. We're picking that up Thursday,
super,
and then, it's getting graphics on Friday.
Oh, good.
And then it's going back to EATI, they're taking it to a show, which is one of the reasons we got a heavy discount on a lot of the lights.
Cool.
That are in it. And then we'll have it back by the end of next week. So,
Fairly will be in next week.
yeah, so yeah, we're all excited for that. You'll probably see it out during the concert.
Super,
That's really exciting.
that's neat.
And that's great news about the school.
Yes,
Fabulous.
school was able to find some other type of fund that would, made it eligible to be funded under this special subcategory, so.
That's great news.
Excellent. It sounds like you have a couple people that are interested in that, so that'd be nice.
Yeah.
So,
So, you know, just kind of build off. We've been doing, river patrol too, for. You know, River's Edge and ARC, that's been going well.
Yep.
I feel like the calls for service for tubing are relatively down.
I feel you're
overall.
right. I do agree with that.
But there's still the medicals, there's
I
still
think there
some,
was a couple, yeah.
there's still some things here and there, but. I don't know what the numbers look like per se. There's been some busy weekends and some not so busy weekends.
Sure. Yeah, well, actually, the last couple weekends have been really warm and been really busy.
Yeah. So, trying to think of other activities,
Cool,
yeah.
awesome.
Summer's just flying by, isn't it?
Certainly is. Oh, yeah, we got National Night Out tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Yeah, big
That's
shout
super
out
exciting.
to,
that's the Veterans Park,
yeah, overflow parking and, Christ Lutheran.
you know. Did you okay that?
Absolutely. Hard to argue.
Hopefully tomorrow's weather will be better than today.
I think it's supposed to be, but maybe later in the day.
Great. As long as I can still land a helicopter.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think it should still be good then.
Gina's been working very hard
That
to make
is
sure
so
all the
cool.
puzzle pieces come
I'm not
together.
gonna lie, that's like pretty neat.
That
I
worked
feel
out
it's
there?
cool.
Yeah,
The
get there early,
I
cause
think
it's gonna
it's
happen at 4 on the dot,
It's like 4 to 4:45, right?
4 to 4:30.
Or 4:30.
And then the canine demo is right after that.
Cool.
Seems really neat too.
So early bird gets the worm this time.
So, yeah, so I appreciate whoever, you guys did a lot of stuff for that. That's
Wow,
awesome.
Gina gave me the idea.
Good job,
Thank
guys.
you.
Good job.
Yeah.
That
Look forward to
is
that then, huh?
super neat. I feel like for kids, I think that's pretty cool.
School for adults.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it'd be pretty neat.
Right, for sure.
What
So
the heck? You don't get to see
forward
that.
to That's for, hey,
Cool.
perfect. Okay.
Brenda, has there been any parking issues up on your area? I didn't get to put the signs out. um, The first couple concerts. If she's still there, I can follow up with her too. I feel like parking's been a big issue on the east side of the village during concerts. Even like the parking signs that we have right now. We've only had like 4 violators that we actually wrote. During the last concert, but overall, it's been a huge, I'd say success improvement.
So those windshield hangers or whatever they're called, is that helping, you think?
We kind of did a really slow unveil of that, and it's really become something that it wasn't intended. And a lot of people are using it to park closer to go to the venue. And then, we've also get a lot of people from Richmond and the township that, are, very upset that they don't get one as well. And, it's just turned into something that it's really not. And, I think we're gonna have to reevaluate that for next year. And part of it was to do kind of a slow start to kind of get people who live in town accustomed to it. Even the ones who live over there are using it. We did mailers, we mailed it out to anyone that lives on, Francis, Germain, Vanasse. HUD, Main Depot, certain parts of Meadow Lane. And, I think there's a lot of people that appreciate it, and there's other people who. Probably don't really care about it. There's other people that use it to try to get a front row parking spot.
And-
So, there's never gonna be a perfect fit. I've talked to a couple of business owners who wanted to tell me how they've done it in the past and it was successful, very similar to kind of the tag system, but it was written down with more information and what vehicle and where do they live. I think you gotta balance like the invasiveness and, at the end of the day, I feel like it's kind of creating a lot more work and a lot more of people who are feeling left out and or not able to participate in a way that they thought they could have, where I feel like all or nothing might be the best route. And so like we did the first year where it's like, we run your plate and come back and you're parked in front of your house or in the vicinity, that's acceptable.
Right,
I don't think we're gonna bother that person, but when they start lining blocks, double parking on either side, that's an issue that has to be.
no, that was not the intent, really, we just want to protect the residents parking, their own parking spots.
Right, and
For their own residents,
yeah, and they should still be able to go in and out of their driveway,
right,
so.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a balance, and I don't know how Lambeau Field does it. It's a whole nother, where they're able to, people park residentially and they walk, But their infrastructure is set up a lot different than ours.
Sure.
We're a community of 3,000,
right.
Yeah.
so,
The big influx of people. Shot, so.
Yeah.
Evaluating,
yeah, still evaluating. Have you guys heard any feedback either way?
I have.
no. Right, so parking is still just always gonna be an issue, even though there's plenty of ample free parking
Right,
at the amphitheater.
Right.
You don't have to pay for it,
right,
but people don't necessarily hear them.
right,
I also do like that we've been, the last concert or two, allowing people to trickle out a little slower. I think that helped rather than bum rushing everybody out,
sure,
because then you're just sitting in your car getting mad.
from inside the venue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think that that helps a lot.
Yeah.
So,
That's good to know. I don't get to see what goes on the inside per
Right.
se at the end of the night.
I direct my feet.
Yeah.
Just to see what,
Sure.
you know, and everybody's calm and happy and
Yeah,
keep serving food, people sober up a little bit.
sure,
Yeah,
yeah, good,
I think it's been really good this year. Of course, we'll see.
yeah,
These next couple ones are gonna be really bigger and really exciting, really fun.
Yeah.
Family concerts too, which I like.
right.
Lovely. Yeah. So did you, Chris, did you have a chance to look over the incident reports?
The, police and fire things?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Guess we didn't specifically address that. Did you have any questions?
I don't
Looks very typical.
think so. Everyone's good to me.
Too bad about that damage to property.
Right.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. We, they were identified by like 7 a.m.
Quick.
Yeah,
There's cameras everywhere.
yes, yeah,
Okay. Well, hopefully people learn and make smarter decisions, right?
yes.
Anything else of interest? Sounds good. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we just have a brief police report bills to review. That's very simple.
Yep.
Lovely.
Looked okay.
Do you have any future agenda items we should be thinking about? I'm going to pass on that ordinance amendment to the full board. Great. Well, I will make a motion to adjourn then.
Chris Marino, second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we are adjourned at 5:34 p.m.